You know what's wild? Americans spend $16 billion a year on bottled water, and most of us can't tell the difference between brands in a blind taste test. But here's the thing, some of these companies are laughing all the way to the bank while selling you tap water with added salt, shipping bottles from drought zones halfway around the world, and creating products so sketchy that entire countries have banned them. Dasani contained cancer causing chemicals and got kicked out of the UK in 2004. Still banned today. Fiji ships water 5,000 miles while locals near their source lack clean drinking water. Arrowhead stealing California's water with an expired permit since 1988. The bottled water industry is counting on you being too busy or too thirsty to care, and they've got the marketing budgets to make you believe their glorified tap water is somehow superior to what flows from your faucet. So let's expose the 6 bottles that range from absolute disasters to actually worth your money. Because life's too short to pay 3,000% markup for water that makes you more thirsty. Smash that subscribe button because we're about to save you from some seriously questionable hydration choices. Number 6, Coca-Cola Dasani. Launched in 1999 as Coca-Cola's desperate 8-year late response to Pepsi's Aquafina, Dasani immediately established itself as the water nobody asked for. When Reddit collectively calls something liquid dust, swamp water, and pool water, you know you've achieved legendary status for all the wrong reasons. Here's what you actually get. Municipal tap water from places like Dallas and California, run through reverse osmosis, then remineralized with magnesium sulfate. Yes, Epsom salt, plus potassium chloride and sodium chloride, which is literally table salt. The texture is a nightmare. It leaves your mouth dry despite being water, with a coating sensation like licking metal. The taste, metallic, chemical, medicinal, with an underlying salt flavor that dominates every sip. At a pH of 4.5 to 6.25, it's as acidic as tomatoes and coffee. And get this, the UK scandal from 2004 revealed Dasani contained illegal levels of bromate, a cancer-causing chemical, from their NASA-perfected purification process. 500,000 bottles recalled. Still banned 20 years later. The real kicker? UK media discovered Coca-Cola was bottling Sid Cup tap water and selling it at £2 per bottle. That's 3,000 times the cost of municipal water. Customer reviews are brutal. The new formulation tastes like dirt. Another said it smells horrible, almost sulfuric. Canadian government inspection reports documented complaints of water that smells like urine or reeks of diarrhea. The bottle redesign sparked revolt. One-time use lids, get a drink and the lid will not retighten. In April 2024, Coca-Cola finally removed sodium chloride after literal decades of complaints. Bottom line, you're paying Coca-Cola 20 cents per bottle to add Epsom salt to your tap water, bottle it in collapsing plastic, and deliver an experience so bad an entire country banned it. When the best thing you can say is they finally removed the salt nobody wanted, you've created liquid regret. Number 5, PepsiCo Aquafina. Introduced in Wichita, Kansas in 1994, Aquafina beat Dasani to market by 5 years and should have owned the category. Instead, PepsiCo created what can only be described as the void. Water so aggressively filtered, it forgot to have a personality. At TDS levels of 1 to 4 parts per million, the lowest of any major brand, Aquafina is technically water, but just barely. What you actually get is municipal tap water subjected to a 7-step purification gauntlet. Reverse osmosis, ozonation, carbon filtration, UV light, until literally nothing remains. The texture is nothingness. Thin, watery to the point of existential crisis. It's like drinking the memory of water. The taste, one tester said, if Dasani is a pool of mystery water, Aquafina is the result of chlorination. Minerally, salty, bitter, despite having almost no minerals at all. Here's the thing, it's so pure there's no mineral content, no electrolytes, no nutritional value. Just H2O's stripped of meaning. The 2007 lawsuit reveal says it all. PepsiCo was forced to add PWS, public water source, to labels after getting sued for misleading consumers. At 1 to 4 parts per million, Aquafina's mineral content is 2.5 times lower than FDA standards. They filtered out any reason to buy it. Customer sentiment is harsh. One person said it's disgusting. I'll go thirsty before I drink that awful stuff. TikTok consensus, not the perfect taste. The water sommelier called it a decent thirst quencher for an inexpensive water you're drinking in the airport. That's code for last resort. Aquafina survives on pure ubiquity. PepsiCo is banking on desperation purchases and brand familiarity to move a product they've stripped of any distinguishing characteristics. Bottom line, when scientists try to create the platonic ideal of water and accidentally remove its soul, you get Aquafina. At 20 cents per bottle, you're paying Pepsi to turn tap water into liquid forgettability. Number 4, Blue Triton Brands Nestle Pure Life. Nestle Pure Life occupies a special circle of bottled water hell. It's simultaneously the cheapest major brand at 13 to 17 cents per bottle and somehow tastes like both limestone caves and corporate malfeasance. With a TDS of 516 parts per million, almost mineral water territory, every sip is a reminder that you're drinking the geological history of wherever Nestle decided to extract water this week. What you actually get is spring water or municipal water. It varies wildly by location and nobody tells you which. The texture is a salt, thick, dense, heavy. Hard water mouthfeel that coats your mouth like you're licking chalk. The taste is chaos, wildly inconsistent bottle to bottle, but commonly described as dish soap, gutter water, sour and bitter, or surprisingly smooth with slight sweetness. At 516 parts per million TDS, you're basically drinking dissolved rocks. And get this, a 2018 federal class action accused Nestle of intentionally, negligently, and recklessly concealing that Pure Life contained high levels of microplastics. The ethical nightmare runs deep. Bottling plants in Pakistan where locals lack clean water, extracting from drought zones, aggressive water rights battles worldwide. Customer reviews are wildly divided. Haters say it tastes like dish soap, tastes like rain runoff. But budget defenders say a pure and perfect price. Quality disasters include weirdly misshapen bottles. 0 celebrity endorsements. Pure Life exists as Nestle's global play for families who can't afford premium water. They're banking on price-sensitive consumers prioritizing hydration over ethics. Bottom line, for 13 cents per bottle, you're renting water from a landlord who's simultaneously suing your neighborhood for rain rights. When every sip tastes like corporate controversy dissolved in limestone-filtered tap water. If this is already saving you from bad water choices and buyer's remorse, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next, because the top 3 get really interesting. Number 3. Blue Triton Brands Arrowhead. Since 1894, Arrowhead spring water has promised the pure essence of California's San Bernardino Mountains. Then Nestle bought it, quality collapsed, and now it tastes like someone bottled water from a rusty 1987 garden hose. The real scandal? They've been extracting millions of gallons free from California's national forests using a permit that expired in 1988. What you actually get is spring water from California, Colorado, and Canadian sources. Except consistency is a joke, and quality control apparently left with the original owners. The texture is a nightmare, slightly viscous yet simultaneously dry. When refrigerated, it leaches moisture off your tongue like the reverse hydration. The taste profile is metallic, earthy, sulfurous, rusty. One reviewer said it tastes blue. Not clean, not fresh, just blue, like licking a penny in an old hardware store. The permit scandal from 2015 is damning. A Desert Sun investigation revealed Nestle extracted millions of gallons free using a permit expired since 1988, which the Forest Service never reviewed. The California Water Board found Nestle appears not to have valid rights to much of the water it's been taking. Post-Nestle acquisition, devoted fans fled. One said it tastes like something filtered through a cat litter box. Another said they accidentally picked up a big chunk of mountain and ground that up with it, along with rust scraped out of old pipes. The most damning quote, it's slightly viscous, like you could make Orbeez with it. But while it acts like a liquid, it's simultaneously dry. At 16 cents per bottle, you're paying Nestle for water they took for free during droughts. Arrowhead survives on West Coast nostalgia. Nestle is banking on brand recognition to move a product that betrays its heritage with every metallic, rusty sip. Bottom line, when the best thing about mountain spring water is its 130-year history, and the worst thing is everything since 1988, you're drinking California's shame in a bottle. And if you're finding this ranking useful and eye-opening, hit that like button. It really helps the channel cut through the noise and reach more people who need to know what they're actually drinking. Number 2, the wonderful company Fiji Water. Fiji Water. The square bottled status symbol that convinced an entire generation to pay $8 to $9 per liter for artesian aquifer water shipped 5,000 miles from the South Pacific. With 92 milligrams per liter of silica, the beauty mineral, and celebrity endorsements from Nicole Kidman, Fiji represents everything simultaneously right and wrong about bottled water. It actually tastes good. But at what cost? What you actually get is artesian aquifer water from Yakara Valley, Viti Levu Island, naturally filtered through volcanic rock, which sounds exotic until you remember the carbon footprint. The texture distinction is real. The soft mouthfeel comes from silica, creating that silky quality devotees describe as downy baby goose feathers in your mouth. The taste profile is smooth, slightly sweet, clean, with that signature alkaline finish at pH 7.7. But skeptics taste dull, metallic, salty undertone. Here's where it gets bad. The Cleveland insult backfired in 2006. Fiji ran ads mocking Cleveland's tap water. Tests revealed Fiji had 6.31 micrograms of arsenic per liter. The Cleveland tap had 0. The 2024 FTC recall? Nearly 2 million bottles were recalled for elevated manganese and bacterial contamination. The environmental catastrophe is staggering. Each Fiji bottle uses 1.75 gallons of water and 2,000 times more energy than tap water. The ethical nightmare? Extracting water from a developing nation where native Fijians near the source suffer typhoid outbreaks. You're literally drinking their water. Customer quotes reveal the divide. Devotees say smooth, worth the price. We can pick out Fiji every time in blind tests, but skeptics say it tastes like lotion, like lake water/dirty socks. Fiji succeeds because of that square bottle and Instagram aesthetics. They're banking on status signaling to justify prices that make your wallet cry. Bottom line, you're paying $8 to $9 per liter for water with a carbon footprint bigger than a small car and a taste that's 50% silica and 50% guilt. When drinking liquid colonialism from a square bottle becomes a status symbol, you've created the most Instagrammable ethical disaster in hydration. Number 1. Glacio Smartwater. Launched in 1996 by Glacio, acquired by Coca-Cola for $4.1 billion in 2007, Smartwater represents what happens when a company actually tries to make good water. Vapor distilled to mimic the hydrological cycle, remineralized with select electrolytes. This is the water that made water sommeliers say this is the most watery of all waters. And they meant it as the highest compliment. What you actually get is vapor distilled water enhanced with calcium chloride, magnesium chloride, and potassium bicarbonate. Science that actually improves the product. The texture is perfection. Smooth, light, zero aftertaste, with that satisfying sport cap design that makes hydration feel premium without being pretentious. The taste profile is clean, crisp, neutral plus. As one reviewer said, tasted colder than it actually was. Here's the thing, it tastes like nothing, which for water is everything. No plastic, no minerals, no regret. The sommelier gold standard says it all. Water expert Belinda Chang said it doesn't taste like anything, which is perfect. This is the most watery of all the waters. This is the Moet Imperial of bottled water. Blind taste supremacy is consistent. It ranks number 1 or top tier in every taste test. The scandal deficit is remarkable. 0 major controversies. No recalls, no lawsuits, no ethical nightmares. Customer quotes reveal the enlightenment. What I expect from water tastes like nothing. No plastic taste, just refreshing water. The only criticism? One reviewer said it feels relatively flat. I prefer water with more minerals. The only real criticism is that it's too pure for some. At $1.50 to $2 per liter, it's a premium without being a luxury. Quality that justifies the cost. Smartwater exists as Coca-Cola's premium redemption arc after Dasani's catastrophic failure. They're banking on conscious consumers who read labels and appreciate actual quality. Bottom line, when scientists ask, what if we made water that actually tastes like refreshment and then nail it, you get Smartwater. This is water that makes you forget you're drinking bottled water. Here's what nobody tells you. Half these brands sell you the same municipal tap water you already pay for, just marked up 3,000%. The other half ships water from ecological disaster zones while locals suffer. From Dasani's salt disaster banned in an entire country to Smartwater's vapor distilled perfection, the gap between worst and best isn't just taste. It's whether a company respects you enough not to add Epsom salt to make you thirstier, or steal water with expired permits, or ship bottles 5,000 miles for Instagram clout. The best water tastes like nothing. The worst tastes like corporate greed dissolved in metallic regret. Don't trust the square bottles or celebrity endorsements. Trust your taste buds and your wallet. Sometimes premium pricing reflects actual quality. Sometimes you're just paying for the tropical vacation your water took. Dasani makes you thirstier. Aquafina has no soul. Pure Life comes with moral baggage. Arrowhead tastes like rust and theft. Fiji costs more than gas. Smartwater just works. Hit subscribe if this changed how you'll look at bottled water, and drop a comment telling us which rankings shocked you most, or which brand you're never buying again.